Hi everyone, welcome back to the Brush by Brandy YouTube channel. My name is Brandy and we are back for another month of Brandy's favorite things. So you guys, at the beginning of this year, we started exploring using a whole bunch of different products, and so I wanted to kind of put these together on a monthly basis for products that I had used that month that were new to me, that kind of stood out to me. And none of these are sponsored. These are just things that I really enjoyed using in the paint world. So I'm going to share some of them with you tonight. This is our third installment. You can go back and catch the other two. But let's check out some of Brandy's favorite things. So the first thing I've got is I've been getting asked a lot about clear coats. People are looking for a good clear coat that you can put over your painted finish. So I wanted to give you a few of the options that I'm liking the most right now. One of them is Wisel Varnish, and this comes in a satin and a matte, and I want to show you the consistency of it. So it's got a beautiful, nice milky consistency. It goes on really easily. You can either wipe or brush this on, wipe it on with a sponge or brush it. Tough as nails and crystal clear. I feel like it gives a nice durable protection. It's really easy to apply. It's user friendly. Dream Coat from Daydream Apothecary is another one of my top choices. And this one's a nice, highly regarded clear coat. That's the consistency of that one. It's got a nice liquid consistency. Again, you can brush or sponge it. I'm going to give you a nice durable top coat. And then I also like Crystalac. This is their Extreme Protection. This is gloss, so it's a little bit thinner in consistency. And one thing that stood out to me about Crystalac is they are a family-owned company. So it was started by her father years ago, and so she's grown up in the coatings industry. They've got experience in getting the highest quality materials. So in meeting them and knowing how dedicated they are to this business really made me feel comfortable with that product too. So I want to say those are three of the top choices that I'm using probably the most often right now, are those three clear coats. So that should give you some good options from Wisel, Daydream Apothecary, and Crystalac. We'll leave that one out. All right, brush soap. Okay, we all need brush soap. I'm going to give you a couple options there for what I'm liking for brush soap too. All right, so this is Pretty Boy Brush Cleaner, and I have a video that's going to be coming up with this, but I like this one because it comes to a nice foam. It is eco-friendly, it's water-based, but it cleaned my wax brushes and my paint brushes really well. So this was able to tackle even the wax really well. It's unscented. I liked that it got a little foamy. I don't know, for me, I just find like I need to see a little bit of foam to feel like I'm really getting clean. But that's Pretty Boy Brush Cleaner. And I was really pleasantly surprised with how well it cleaned my wax brushes too. This is a nice everyday option that I keep at my sink. This is Bad Ace Brush Soap, and this is from Wisel. What do I like the most about this? It smells awesome. You can get all the smells that they have their furniture salve in are available in their brush soap too. So this one's called Bourbon Vanilla. And I can use this on my everyday brush cleaning. I love that it has a pump on it. It's super easy to use. I keep this at my sink. You can tell that's why it's got some stains on the label and stuff, but I just keep this at my sink, and when I just need a quick pump, I can pump this right onto my brush for the, the light, easy cleaning, everyday use. I really am liking that. All right, so just some kind of like everyday available items. Lava soap. I use lava soap on my hands and on my brushes. It's got a little bit of pumice built into it, so it's a little bit gritty. It will take paint off my hands. Mechanics use lava pumice soap. It's super effective and it works. Fel's Naphtha is another one that's pretty commonly available as far as just a regular bar soap that you can use on hands and on brushes. So I do use this on my hands and on my brushes. Lava soap, just regular old lava soap, is great. Okay, this month I did a texture challenge, and I used something that's been in my arsenal for a long time. But man, I go back to it when I want texture, and it's this roller. This is from Artistic Painting Studios, and they've got a whole bunch of them, but this is I think this is their Crocodile Roller, if I'm not mistaken. If I roll this out, it does come out to be kind of a crocodile looking finish, but if I over roll it, meaning I kind of messy roll it, I can get a totally different look out of it. So that's actually what I used on this piece behind me on the top, and it gave me this really cool textured finish on this top here. So I really like, they have a lot of options as far as the textured rollers. This is just one, but I've had this forever. I won this in a contest actually a few years ago. And I like this for when I've got a piece that kind of has a top that's a little bit messed up. It's uneven, like I probably can't even it out. So what do I need to do? I'm just going to use some cool texture on it so that you don't notice those flaws, and use it to kind of, you know, emphasize. And textured rollers are a great idea for that. So you just put a little bit of either a mud or your paint mixed with like a salt wash to thicken it up, and roll that right through it, and it's going to leave the impression. Any kind of texture paste, and you can leave the impression on it. So textured rollers, those are from Artistic Painting Studios. You guys, a link for everything that I'm showing you guys will be in the description for this video too. Okay, so let's talk molds, you guys. Silicone molds. Silicone molds. These are from Redesign with Prima. This is their Fragrant Roses mold. And I've got a large collection of these, and I hadn't used them in a while, and I forgot how much I love molds. I like them because they're totally reusable. I can use them over and over again. As you can see, you know, some of these get really regular use. This is one of my favorites. This is Grandeur Keyholes, and I like this because it's an easy way that I can add a keyhole, which is kind of a universal thing for every piece of furniture, and it makes it look extra, you know, decorative, you know, a little bit more high-end and fancy. So I use my molds all the time. They're one of the best investments that I have ever made because they're so universal. So when you get them in the package, they are food safe. So you can use them, like you could use these for melting chocolates, for baking. They're heat resistant, so you can, all kinds of things. You can use these with resin, air dried clay, paper clay. You can, a hot glue you can make your molds with. I do have a blog post on my blog at brushbybrandy.com that gives you a bunch of options in filling your silicone molds. But I can add details like this, which normally if I were to buy each one of these appliques individually, it can start to add up. But when I have a mold that I can use over and over and over again, those are things I can always come back to and use again. So my silicone molds, those are from Redesign with Prima. Can't say enough. One of the best things that I own. Okay, I tried something new this month, and it was actually a couple things, and it's these metallics from Posh Chalk. So this is their metallic pigment, and then this is their patina. And I wanted to show you both of them so you can kind of see the difference. We'll try the patina first, but the patina is actually a solid. It's a wax. It's like a gilding wax. It's oil-based, and you can just apply this with your finger. It's very nice and rich. It gets great coverage. And so I'm going to put a little bit of this onto this plate right here so you can see. I like the smeary, smudgy effects that you can get with a gilding wax. But that was a nice, rich metallic. And it's got a lot of nice shimmer. I used that on on a stencil this month. And it was beautiful to stencil with. So that's the patina. It's kind of a paste, an oil-based paste. That's their patina. But let me show you guys the Posh Chalk pigments. All right, so the pigments are actually a powder. They're a powder. And how I used mine on my serape piece behind me is I actually mixed a little bit of the powder into my metallic paint. And it made the metallic paint even more rich, more sparkly, more metallic. So they're kind of these mica powders. I'm going to put a little tiny bit here, and then we'll go ahead and mix up. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of a clear coat, and I'm just going to use this gloss from Crystalac. A gloss is great anytime you're mixing a metallic pigment because it's not going to impede the shine of the metallics. It's going to keep it nice and glossy. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my clear coat, and if I drip this in, I can mix this up. And I create this super rich metallic paint. And I can use this on accents. So if I brush this on, just very, very, very rich metallic. And that came from that powder and just mixing it. They do have an infusing gloss that you can get, but it also works with a clear coat, and the shimmer on it was absolutely gorgeous. So those are the Posh Chalk pigments, and I used those this month. I actually, instead of the clear coat, used, like I said, a little bit of metallic paint in it, and it took my metallic, it just kind of leveled up my metallic paint a little bit. So beautiful metallic options. Both of those are from Posh Chalk. I'm going to show you another metallic option, and that is this Acrylic Sheen from Redesign with Prima. Whoops. So this one's called Blush Chrome. And let me show you the consistency of these because they are beautiful. So they've got a little lid on them here. When I take this off, these are also very, very rich and pigmented metallics. So I'm going to take a little bit just on the lid here, just on my lid, and I'm going to put it on my same plate here. These are more like a paint, but very rich, very pigmented, nice coverage on them. I would use these for like accenting a mold. So let me show you how that turned out. That's the Blush Chrome. It's this beautiful pink metallic that I did right here. So that Blush Chrome, the Acrylic Sheen from Redesign with Prima, another beautiful metallic option when you want to accentuate your piece with metallics. So I did some decoupage, and I used a paper, and they're papers that I've always loved using, and I pulled them back out, and I wanted to just tell you guys that I love using these papers. I like her aesthetic, I think, the most. These are from Recycled, and what I like about Royce's papers is she's got this kind of almost a little bit grungy aesthetic. This is kind of one example how it's got the 4 different patterns on it, but a little bit, I don't know, a little more edgy in her designs. And so I used one this month, and I crinkled it up and created a very textured design. It's actually the inside on this piece here. I'm going to take you guys down so you guys can see it. So this is a paper from Recycled that I used on this door. And you can see it's got that same kind of grungy, edgy, industrial aesthetic that she has, that she's kind of known for. I love her papers. They're really easy to lay. They're nice and versatile. She's got a ton of designs. That's been something that I always enjoy using. So Recycled papers are definitely something that, you know, that I enjoy. Those are at recycled.com. And my last one, I wanted to show you guys a paint that I used this month. So one of the paints I used was called Purico Paint. All right, what did I like about this paint? It's kind of a clay-based paint. These are made in Australia. They're eco-friendly. I loved the packaging. I'm a huge fan when I can see my colors through the packaging. I did really enjoy their color choices. So a lot of the colors that I ended up with were kind of these muted shades here. So this one is called Myrtle, which is this beautiful sage green. And these are right up my alley. I tend towards muted shades. This one's called Eucalypt. And that's kind of a blue with a lot of green undertones. I need to shake it up a little bit, but Eucalypt was beautiful blue-green. And then this one here is called Sunset, but it's kind of this rich coral color. And I just thought, like, I even thought these would be a really pretty color combination here. I really enjoyed their color choices. I liked using it. So let me show you guys here. It dries a little bit lighter than the actual paint color, but then when you seal this up with your sealer, the color comes back into it and gives it life. Had a little bit of texture, so I was able to use it on this textured piece here. And in layering, it layered beautifully. So Purico Paint, loved the color selection, really cool paint to use. Those are from Australia, but they do ship to the United States as well. All right, you guys. So those were my favorite things for this month. Come back next month. I'm going to show you some more of my favorite things, just things that stand out to me as I'm exploring all these things in the paint world, things that are new, maybe you guys haven't seen before and haven't seen me use before. You guys check out links for everything in the description for this post, and I will catch you guys next month.